My name is Ted Dickey. When Mike Smith and I were working in Stevens, Wilson candidate was in the research department studying the very company and the problem in which he's about to describe, and so I believe he understands the problem, and I have to simplify things because I don't understand problems generally. The way I understand it is they're not going to help you get traffic to your website, but once they get there, in an ROI fashion, are going to help you figure out how you can convert a potential customer into a revenue customer and measure and maximize that value that they bring. So I'm going to turn it over to Wilson and John Dodson.
Thanks, Ted. My name is John Dodson. I'm with Vertical Studio. We are an online marketing optimization and management firm is what we do. What I'd like to do is just cover briefly the history of the company, kind of why we created this company, and then also introduce you to the management team that we have as well. Because of the views that Wilson, my partner here with me, and I have, which kind of from an insider perspective, we saw a lot of real key issues in how businesses were approaching their online management of the strategies they were trying to implement. We also shared a very unique vision of how we could provide a solution in that area. So in the second quarter of 2009, we formalized our partnership, and really for the purpose of bringing those solutions to the market, as well as addressing the issues that we saw in the industry as well. As the president and the co-founder, I've got 15 years of experience in web development, project management, and team leadership, managing budgets 150 to 500,000, teams locally of 5 people, and global teams up to around 30. Prior to joining Vertical Studio, Wilson actually worked for Stevens Incorporated, as Ted said, and was actually an equity research associate and assistant trader in internet marketing stocks as well. Now in 2007, Wilson stepped a little bit away from that and began consulting companies on their internet strategies, as well as managing Google AdWords portfolios for those companies. As Vertical Studio's COO, David Sorrell has 12 years experience in strategy and project management, managing teams of up to 50 and budgets of $9 million. Also here, Alan Christie, who is our Vice President of Vendor Relations, comes with 17 years experience helping global companies implement their internet initiatives, managing teams of up over 80 people as well. You can also see the members of our advisory board. These guys kind of help serve the gaps that we have in our team right now in some leadership roles, and from top to bottom, those would be really a high-level view from the interactive advertising space in the industry, finance, as well as sales that we need help with as well. The slide that we've got here, this is really more of a reference to identify where a company fits in the landscape of interactive advertising industry. Fundamentally, this is a supply chain, if you will. If you start on the left here, you see the advertiser, which more is the person who's creating the message. And then as it flows across this chart and all the categories and the logos that you see, you finally come to the far right, the audience, who is the receiver of the message that they're sending out. We believe that Vertical Studio actually fits well right now within this creative optimization and the analytics space here. Now that creative optimization is actually as a measuring and improving the performance of online media that leads to greater returns is what that amounts to. Now more specifically, we believe Vertical Studio fits in kind of a subset of creative optimization and what we call online marketing optimization. Basically, to be successful online, we believe that companies have to climb what we've called here, this graphic, the hierarchy of online business needs. Now within that, there are some obvious issues that come to play. Number one is that it's an expensive venture right now. A fundamental online business team made of a search marketer, an e-commerce director, as well as a web analyst can easily cost a company $15,000 a month just in labor costs alone. That's before you ever have any kind of an ad spend or any kind of technology that you're going to employ to do that. And it's also a sophisticated process to really climb this pyramid that you see on the screen. So to get to the point where you've created an internal, continuous strategic process that helps you really make those iterative, ongoing recommendations or improvements to your website to improve the ROI, it's very cost prohibitive for companies. A second, there's a wealth of data that's available out there due to the wide market acceptance of analytic packages from companies like Google, Omniture, Web Trends. They're all providing these resources. The difficult part is businesses have a hard time mining the data to get out real insights that help them improve their websites in a way that move that ROI needle and improve that. The way most companies are dealing with this or forced to deal with it today is they're hiring inexperienced personnel who many times are training on the job, or they're forced to cobble together from a slew of third-party vendors that many times don't play well together on a team. The vertical studio solution actually is anchored in what's called persuasion architecture. Now what that is basically the psychology of how people interact with and buy from websites. Essentially, persuasion architecture provides a detailed process for influencing website visitors to do what the business owner wants them to do when they go to their site. We deliver the information to them when they want it, how they want it, and in a language that speaks to their individual needs is the way we apply that. Essentially, Vertical Studio takes the guesswork out of making improvements to a website for a client. So per defined goals that the client has in meeting and working with us, we actually go in and make monthly, ongoing recommendations that improve that website with measured capabilities to be able to get quantitative data then to target a 5% increase month over month for a specific goal that a client has helped us to identify. Whether that be, it's a conversion is what we would call that. So it may be they want more sales, they want leads, whatever that might end up being. Now, in addition, Vertical Studio is also developing some proprietary SaaS tools that will help customers in their acquisition process, and then also help us internally to streamline our service delivery. Parts of the capital that we're requesting to raise are going to be used to develop these proprietary SaaS tools, one of those being the RFM model, email marketing, and the multivariate testing landing page tools. RFM modeling is simply this, a method of defining and analyzing marketing segments for providing a lift, if you will, in the response rate to email marketing that our clients may want to use. Multivariate testing is a technique that actually is testing hypotheses around very complex multivariate systems. So multivariate testing in this case is going to be used to test whether a piece of content or a creative element, which is it that's going to be more successful in moving the needle around ROI and improving a client's website. So typically these techniques are not accessible to business owners and managers unless they've got an IT background or they have the resources available to really leverage those type of tools. So with that said, I'd like to hand this off now to Wilson Kennedy, our Chief Strategy Officer, let him cover our sales and marketing as well as our financials for the company.
Thank you, John. The market for our solution is pretty significant. The macro industry of online advertising and shopping is very large. According to the Interactive Advertising Bureau in 2008, total advertising spend was $142 billion. 7% of that went to online advertising. To get to our initial addressable markets, there are 30,000 advertisers that we've identified who are currently spending $5,000 or more a month on Google advertising. Also, the small to medium business market, which we can all see moving away from traditional advertising in broadcast and print, has two catalysts, which are leading businesses to begin spending on internet advertising. First is that only 7% of the spend is going online, but 30% of consumer media time is spent online. Second, online advertising tends to drive higher relative returns than other advertising mediums. And as we see these trends come into balance, we believe the market will continue to grow. We're very familiar with a large part of our marketing strategy because we've done it for our clients in the past. We use search engine marketing to reach the small and medium business market, and we believe this will be very efficient. For the large target market of the 30,000 advertisers, they already have significant budgets allocated to internet marketing, so they don't have to be convinced to spend money in this area. We have a list of the executives and their contact information at these companies, and we'll contact them through direct marketing. But they're already feeling the pain points of trying to climb the hierarchy of needs that John described earlier, namely the associated expenses and the difficulty with the data. Our revenue segments are not very complex. There are 4 core buckets for revenue. You can see on the left of the pyramid, And basically a low-level combination of our services is going to start at $1,500 per month. Design and development and campaign management are driven by the applied analytics and online business optimization strategy. And the applied web analytics addresses the management's needs for recommendation, and the architecture strategy works to keep the business strategy online through the methodology. We currently have representative clients that are all local, but each one of them verifies the demand for our services in the market, as well as our client acquisition strategies. You can see how the model scales. The important things to note in our financial model are, first, the increasing operating margin as operating profits increase. Second, we expect to be profitable in fiscal year 2. And third, in fiscal year 5, we expect to hit revenue of $21.6 million revenue with operating income of $6.9 million. We're currently raising $750,000 in equity. We plan to use that to hire staff, document standardized processes, develop proprietary technology and marketing expenses. The milestones that will be hit in that time are have the processes documented within 6 months, be profitable in 13 to 18 months, and have revenue from our proprietary tools in 18 to 24 months. This is my favorite slide, and it's the last point. This is a very active space for mergers and acquisitions, as evidenced by the table that you can see here for transactions over the last year. Further, you can see the average multiples that deals are done for in this space: 16 times EBITDA, 4.5 times revenue, respectively. We believe that once Vertical Studio approaches the following milestones, it will be an attractive target in this market. Significant revenue from our proprietary tools, EBITDA approaching $5 million, and significant recurring wins for our clients. And with that, if you have any questions, feel free to contact John or myself directly, or we'd be happy to talk with you later this afternoon. Thank you for your time and attention.